This is Buadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Obian yahu say a dear in the team sabons yeah you tune if you are so it was like a coup d'etat or parliament. The yahu my dear me tune.
I said one more come yet. But I think it was not the purpose, but I'm the coin.
Usema munyi na kwa Kwamra Buadu TV so first time no sena de bia ye kana no wa subscribe ama channel no na fi wa like video no ja comment so at the comment section mo finally na wa share e dia mai e da say ma yentinsi mo ewo eye kwaku anan ene Hobson ya via doye na kache na Hobson adoye asan yi secret bi asan gu ho ono sama kaje so no MPP mo oye MPP ni sisi ano so no movement for change now so still na MPP mo ja kakra won what I say enti no nimbia no mo ye sa no eni mo no mo ye nyina wo suma se no nim what I say na osi chairman sa bobo no ma bia ma mo lusu so na ye bi say won say chairman sa koreba na se na ye yi ni fi so say majority leader obi sa won sa question no wakasa de afa ho kukwanya watane nim say ya vi de bia kwa de bi ba na sa Hobson adoye se ne wo fa se ne eyo gifty or worry oh also enye hu say ye detaining and I be create detaining kra enye hu we on be man be ada oh jai enye hu bia se na e be ka se ne detaining na say o she tokuro bi mo se o jam be man be ada na yentie se na kokomo twetwe no e ko so ne secret a Hobson adoye ye gu fom
say chairman sabonsu
yes
ne asem ya wo kan so say Ebeka obiao because ne na no ye no no fi say chese waje obi ye no
yeah
wa hu ne je no a leader of parliamentary group chese wona amanfo ehwew
yeah
any ade na obubu party mra so na chese a whole lot so ne je no and omo hu say no baby a omo yusu na kwagodro no o mama na mfiri ho no mu a ebe hadwene anadim say akufo adon so there when it comes to some mafiaism ne ade dia oboa all the bell wars is here so the question you asking is why the national chairman was not there na president and general secretary and no modest asem babetu nanim nkasem kesiese nkanya national chairman ebe handle kamukwa national chairman and ebe say look party dey atrase e bia ni president asusu hu say ni eti fi say e bia say kokota adentina na national chairman eniho so eti yakase party do go for the shade bottom ya na manfo ntiase
and should we believe say yes central region any visibility therefore between
that cannot be true
and
that time no mu seat in central region anything no mungita majority. So what is the point?
Yeah. But he's talking about
what is the point? That won't be a ukita majority seat. You are talking about visibility. Hey, now God is saying voter region na ba ko pekura no. Say that you okay. Oti region 0. That's so na dey drama kwa fan free. God is saying free. So dey no. It's already a calculated plan just to bring him down. Now, I want to know, Medimuse was Nyansa, wanya experience from that yena ekoyeno. But still, the way I say yen in Yamano, to no boase boko. I am just disappointed, say, in this report. Sir Nidia Ubehuni say why chairman of the committee near the I want to mention anything about Oseche means I say he was part of their laws in Ashanti region.
That would be very
no, but what je nyama bebre or mustetiana or money nipa 2820 and a year between January 19th to 24th any other. And so kokoshe executive summary hona or kabibi was it 2559 respondents Now, over page 10 of the report, we see 2,820.
Oh, okay.
So it should tell you, say, sir, report to Anga Sakrano, and you cooked. And you cooked. Because it doesn't tally.
Yeah.
It's some your Mokigagi Kawomono, and see any other. Etina, Stephen Amwa, the Buofuna was here. The one Shayamba candidate you lose here. Now, Oko page 19 is talking about perception of corruption.
Yeah.
Now, Oshe said yes, na was say, or more finding research, actually say the government of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was perceived to be corrupt by 41% of the respondents. Cases they cited to buttress their perception include the National Cathedral project.
Hey.
Number 2, Sisera Dapa's case. Number 3, illegal gold mining, Galamsey, missing excavators, COVID-19 vaccine supply at the Ministry of Health, PDS, a Japan deal, American contract extension, sale of employment and scholarships through for party members, and ordinary Ghanaian, the National Ambulance Maintenance Contract, etc., etc. We a MPP report.
Page 19.
Ashanti region, page 19. Ubiapa, one kind, only the last paragraph, point 23, was a perception of corruption. The MPP for Ankasa ne Kasa say corruption. Samuel we are there. Kosu Yinano. Uti se kweta share dream. Chrono kankani proye. Eshem adokrumu. So on the channel. Enunti ana manfo anye yisa no. Eti a whole lot. Was here no sa revelation no. And my party for bebre anko to aba. Eti. Obviously. The party for now, Oko page 20, they are talking about Nana Akufo-Addo. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo leadership style. Page 20 of the report. T.N. Walker. Was it on the leadership style of president? 87%. Tio. Corruption, 41%. Leadership style. 87% of respondents asserted that the president was seen to be unmoved by public sentiment and concerns. Some stated that they found the president to be non-respective to ideas and suggestions, to the very issue that will make 2020 elections easier. Some of the respondents said the first term of president was very good.
Yeah.
And that was a listening president. However, in the second term, he appeared to have exhibited stiff neck, intransigence, and vindictiveness, among other traits, which did not augur well for party fortunes at the polls. Look at how they have described the president. Well, it's not coming from me. I am conveying whatever was said, Mr. Bosune. The uncroft and the atop paper so and I make a me. Oh yeah, oh show stiffness. Stiff neck. Just what can it in the question so straight. What can you conquer? Now I mean I believe. How can you put a chief of staff there for 8 years? What is the meaning of that? Country Eti Basana Adia Jinsem. Look, chief of staff is the engine room for the presidency. And Tiuna, BPR, operations, whatever is for you. What do you say? I'm free to we. What do you for so I'm free to? A mega grand free over now air condition. What do you say? Someone must engineer that. There may be a whole more now, boss or maybe by meet. Some of them may say, Kokwa started in terms of oh, dear, you know. 80 Uber who said, I fear Obiba Fro what I say, no brief food. This is the direction. This is the Afrobakas okay, and yeah, meant to me was a chief of staff for Jumano.
Yeah.
A true baby affair, Chinsam. Everybody was talking in about the Akufo-Addo government. That would you honor warfare. Mammy frame more parry. Stiff neck. What you say? Oh, you can say can no for ata wo ha adwene president change no was it just amawu ben change hwe penipa bi kono no si do as me change na me ngofa hwan I'm telling you
including the members of parliament about 90 of them
me change na me ngofa hwan so on yet no that vindictiveness me pe ha wa kwa gina ha ade ohu obemu na akire wo what you say sadio madi nyina party for eneka enya me hope say ana meti ase na make we e dia fa eye president Akufo Addo ho na mum eye ni party for ana omoka wo di ko page 29 wo hwe local issues one MPB a nansen wajejina mu pa kasa wo tafo ho no hospital wo nkonkwohwe wo se mako obi constituency ofori kromu kwa kwahwe ho hospital na tafo de na ewai ko yi tafo de ne kire yi wo jaze ko yi tafo de no are you telling me say e ko asafo asem na mike are you telling me say ofori krom o mu ne mbio so what is your business there tie ne tafo for kai was at old tafo many of the constituents stated that the MP is an outsider who does not hail from the place. And his only connection is that his father was a teacher at Tafo.
Vincent Ekoase.
Oh, no, Semuna Mike. And because of that, into a man for MP and got to a ba.
Eko, Shahoni you. So,
why am Fantina?
So I saw manager Honi, Tafoni.
Strong. It is that way, okay? Constituency by constituency. At least, Miamba bi wo ho no mu a wo mo eka. A che say, baby a pieces hijack the financial resources a wo mo de ba so mo fa nya yi a wo mo amfa nko. Ni nyina wa ha say. Wo hwe fundings na wo say 32% of respondents were not aware that support from the region and national party came into the constituency. So the eternal. It's because of that, you know. Yes. Anko.
Jefahe.
Anoni asem no. Woko Asante Achem North. Eho e follow ma ye can say independent and so say wo share the way that grassroots was treated. Send your mukoko to sort FMU no mu ye yi owusu be aboa papon koko hunhun ankrofo ni ade ni gina aka ho. Adama omolusu ehonomo ade no wo hwe ne omuka wokumawu wo hwe secha from prince na wokọ other places now on their presidential candidate failure to engage the entire constituency tie ne omuka was it the presidential candidate that is page 33
that's right
me peke just ayi na matimi akọ the next ayi so the presidential candidate decision, yeah page 33 okay, the presidential candidate decision to visit only district capital while ignoring other towns significantly impacted voter perception. In contrast, the opposition candidate made effort to visit multiple towns and interact directly with the people in constituencies. This created the impression that governing party took the electorate for granted, while the opposition appeared more engaged and concerned about local issues. Voters felt degraded and unimportant, which ultimately influenced the decision. So, on the sad way. Look,
very key.
What was say Alanchamante kwa Ashanti region? We ya say about me say ko 16 days wo ho.
I remember.
Alanchamante there no was caravan tour. It is odru constituency bia no. Chese yanko krokura no. Na chese impro 15 there. Ya bekoso in the constituency. Eti akwakwa caravan tour odru ha sei no wagina no one nkrofo akasa no gada obabi amanfo no wono wakasa through the PA system. Na for more move to the town. Eti every day na wo baby a omo eko. Eti utimu say okova wider area. So on here no. Now let me put it that the message, Alanchamante message, was for change. Keep that at the back of your head. One day, make up one. So now, where Mususo dear, or more qua. Young Fanny say, or more qua Juso constituency. A Juso a ye Okese Park. Near Quaco see a tent near the other. That can pollute a decan or honum. Not a dear o sisi fiani bi just on be boasa no moko nkofo amukoko fa wo mu begu ho no eye police station executives ni ade electoral area coordinators nkofo a wo mu ne de party no ka se den a wo ka the whole Ghana wo mu nyina bomu a wo mu be se 208,000 no wo mu no de all the time no mu di machi na omo ba be make difference no omo ba be make difference no e wo hefa so eti sadie we nyina e na bubu wo mu na omo wie di nyina ni ade enhia yesu say hwe enhia so niema sticker was say the death of the chairman created a vacuum and all attention was on the PC who some perceive inaccessible. The PC again was seen working with different campaign groups outside the main constituency executive.
Yes.
I don't say, hey, some way na mubeka to me so. Main sticker me accessible. How many times have me call constituency? Me dem go for ye. And the mo out to be more. Meka the enti lusu ye. Yes, and the enti omu lusu ye na nkasa ye nya mo so book no mo.
Any page man.
Page 36.
36.
Paragraph 2. 3.7 in share so. Pabri is wa say. Send ya kufu ado kaze ade ya ntwa mu kwa na mbeto am ndi fu am nkoto bo mo e. Oni do fa o maka ni nyina e wo honom. Wo hwe bosomi frɛ ho the way na yi e ka ni say galamsey nsɛm ɛne ade ɛkɔ wo hwɛ soame na ehu
soame
chemensa bonsu wona angaza so soame constituency no we go page 37 on ma starting from page 36 but me highlight it baby was it one key the Swami constituency section of Kumasi Offensive Techman Tamale Highway is in a very poor state and constituents visited their frustration and anger on the then MP and majority leader, Honorable Chairman Sabunsu, by pelting him with water when we went on an inspection of the road. The interchange remained undone, and voters were simply ready to teach MPP a lesson. Was that Chairman's report to you?
Yeah.
So, eti ma voters not yes omube teach MPP let's say the results were reflected in the vote cast when Swami was expecting to harvest not less than 75,000 votes for the presidential candidate and the PC. The latter garnered just over 51,000. The results of the result of a protest vote.
That's right.
So on yet no eti what registered voters are and come on for a tuaba aje hwe no combine 75,000 that's what go konya 51,000 what if we about 24,000
we losing
mama
very
mama metuaba no so on yet no everything at the whole Ashanti region we move vote close to 1.8 million 2020 no and then we konya 1.1 million that is a more lusu close to 700,000 votes. Hey, now better than one win elections. These are some of the things. You can't say, Omulusu ye, and chair a crowd of Mukoko baby. To save Ghana.
Na, MPP Guampa. Eji. The elephant.
Sanuwe, Ejawe Wompa.
Ana kana ko for musa.
Nipa over 100 the good them.
The good them. No so mo shout wa.
I don't want to you know. Me tell nipa be 5 for 5.
Yeah. Hopes in nipa. Hopes dia mania be pa o.
Just defeat na bo mo ama. Just omo sorry yo.
Chebe se mo say I don't know what atasi no.
Omo sorry. Hey. Na MPP pe tonyum na edu ehie ewurade let you na ekoso honum you see eti sa report we no I expose the weakness of MPP and I can say this report no just something to whitewash something what you say because say bias kakra and yet the clear reflection of the whole thing. One day, eti mo de ye tumufu. Ye no me hope se na doye. Alan Kojo Chiremantini ye team. 2028 mubehu say ye political party say na nkonko ye independent o a whole political party is coming up ye benya odeti ye benya ye national executives ye benya region ye beko constituency electoral ye polling stations ye nguno ye nso so your ideology say UP family ye nso so ya ba up yeah setting up the political party to make sure say yama or match there is time say ebe dru baby no at least esi etimi ya na Ghana yetimi nya the third force
good one
chese nyoma
correct on me no ya adwene pa yes hopes mbeba few minutes ni yahwe national service de ekoko but me kan 2-3 minutes say good evening Kweku. There is nothing to write home about as Ghana is 68 years old other than concert parties are borrowing money, looting, stealing, and sharing to themselves nothing beneficial achievement. And these pastors are just sycophants. They walk with their stomach, with their minds. The president should give them the chance to walk to and fro in his office. No reason. We want action, not drama. I am Fosti from Kaswa. I am Fosti Dianswa or the Eban. Bibi Munfanche and I'm system no. Was the NPP is still dreaming on Osunedia or the Abeto no internet na ye grant many of my messages ni ana afina eba hello Kweku, today is one of the greatest shows you have done listening to your impeccable analytical abilities gives me some glimmer of hope. Our politicians and charismatic churches must fall in line. Wish God's wisdom. Blessings. Reverend Dr. Tego. And by whoever you are calling, please, this line, I can't receive it. You need to stop calling. And yeah, for calls. Me pacho. What is I say? Hey, Obisu Bisa say, when is the IGP going? Yeah, baby IGP is Nanya Nasem. What the Munya Botre? Obisu also say, my brother, I say, you will kill me. Oh, I can't stop laughing. Oh, I love the way you are giving it to them. More fire, bro. God, my name is Famisia. Yeah. As your National Service Authority. Now we are learning tonight. Say I am my friends a gifty or worry means I know. Say my picking. Yen share post na e say sa asemina to no moment share sa post no say ready and down. Yeah, unia be asmato no. Asam de atono pa.
Breaking news. O dey no match roll.
Breaking news. Or say the BNI has what? Has detained Gifty Oware. They have sent her to an unknown location, not over the husband is being blah 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 blah. And the money adi. Yeah, I who kaka just say any ebe can I critical. I critical. NSC Honsem.
Makacho say ababa ido me office.
NSC Honsem. Dear Joma Makasi Yeno. Yeah, what do you make of this?
Oh, say on the maybe I make say Obia ye accountable to Mr. Worship.
Yeah.
So on it. And say Ebia a basse a binu fili say there may be uncle ye. And just so if you want on the acquaint that one say Sadio money dear, ye na ye support to say your best sadness and a beya at least ye bet me. I reduce corruption. Meaning say ye two as here complete to zero no dear. And yet say.
Yeah.
But say to me Brenna say na a babaye 50% cry. Ghana ye be progress kakra. So on ye. Nti me de ne kwan so ano. We are abase hu say no enye hu bia. What you say?
Yeah.
On be man baby ada kama. Near the question. What him say as part of the strategy, you know, and so say na be etisa ya do sie kakra obi okra mpa ye fa ne ya de na hye hwa bi kra ya nya question no mpo so on ye de no e bia ombe ma na hye hwa e bia kyena na ombe question no eni ade ho no mo no wura hwa because of the no na say ne ya adwuma nti no the kind the former director
so one can see the work ho
oh da bia invite me nko hoda but me makwa hwehwe boss no da o kwa hwehwe do kra twen kakra no wa wote ho a wo hu se da bi ade no nko na de ade na me chesa ade na e ba besi So we dey no. Eti mi koso sa. Eti e besre. We nye ade afre na. Oh, let us match there ni neka. Munya botre boko. Na I think say omo so omo ne omo lawyers ne abusiafo nso be kasa ma akoma toyemu aba. Na media ne make nyina ne say asawu na omo to no. Omo ntu ne ye na mumie.
We dey work can you?
Yes.
Asawu no.
Na mumie ye. NSS ho no. Nkofo bi titenchen. Esesa asawu no gu omo nyina so. Penny be frame last if you know what saying. Nyabotre boko, there is a strategy to whatever we are doing.
Aye Joe.
Eti ema mi nkranhye kakra. So wo dey no. Aha. Obi o no a o me dey me o me nka ho kra. Obehwa ni kra pa musuba. E hodom no. Ana chese wan hwe ya okokoma. Just 3 days as. Just 3 days as obeba. Yemfa ho no kwa per se.
Yeah.
But the directives say Attorney General making sure so mbehwehwe biamamu no. I think say they should do it. And Attorney General so metie no or mame some kind of hope bi.
Yeah.
What's it look? Oral report to Crampo a omodi aba no enya de ketwa. Na on pre no ho say or court. Omo be study. No more who say sadie we de adanse ni. Bibi o hodom a kwaku betima ye bibi. Ame yaka. Na sepa se de adanse no ba say no. Ebeye eyi. Bega say kwaku kitansu apetition negum anu onum. Maka to abonten. How do I know say apetition negum? Eti e ka say me ma me prove a. Obon say ebeye bibia wo. But ebi so a dey apio negum ana wo no. But esan say ye bisa that time adenu nkita obiem. How do I prove it? Enu ya de foforo. Adinti sa legal issues no. Wa nya botra hwehwe nwa mamu yi. Na say wo rahye a ebe ha dwene kakra. So on no. Hwe aban yi fight against corruption no. A huge work.
Huge ejuma.
Very huge. Yeah. Very. So on no. Eti I think Attorney General should employ more hands. At least omo wo young lawyers bebre. So what study bibia? MPP omo nim, omo party no. Omo mo some few years. Better than it is a CPP no. Say every young guy be a warrior school baby no. NDC. Have you seen that? First nanke say NDC party ni ye farmers ne ye for another omo. Because that time na Professor Krenim. Major John Lawrence for so ya kofa Professor Chumesi. The bana by mo as a staffer in the kaka wansa Professor Mercy Bania de. But and then look at the number of professors in NDC. Look at the number of doctors in NDC. Look at young engineers, young lawyers, young doctors. I mean everywhere. Yeah. They are all joining because one who say NDC promote the younger ones no moba. Yeah. You who under Mahama administration
exactly.
First. Sankrofo no mo prepare woman no and then woman that take leadership positions no.
We know heights.
So there no. Okuja tomu Felix mo ne womo mkai ka ho. Mane bo amamo ne ade. Womo ana say omo ba no. Enti ama
Same Jemfi no.
Nkrofo anya hope bi e wo party no mu. I don't know say na ye ha na make na. Last year before elections, Tescom member bia open masempa. And offer me, what's he hope saying? Must study 2 political parties.
And you can Wednesday no.
Yes, made the wo any adumaku befi a example.
I see.
Because of mo send a party no treaty muntino. Maybe we square Medjani NDC. And I'm saying, hey, what's he yes? Oh, no, I started examples, no. Wait. Omu we school, omu starting kaka. Ya more so chese. Omu capture, omu you to na. Omu ebreni na. And so I say entes, and I'm saying, kai. God. And ya some da MPP for so. Independent celebration. Ya be bo o mampenia baso wayade. Yeah. Na
receiving 95%.
Ya share. Former presidents omotia sisese omo nyina nso so ba ye president Kufuor Nana Akufo-Addo omo nso so ba ye no a good a show sign of you can say unity any ade na fe wo hwe a or save we and so you
good
any other na me be some questions na do akonya no or the kofiana
and I mean metie for any mahwefo edi nkomo se ade a omanpeni ama mpenimfo bi omanpeni de asama koto omanim o na eze so omodwendwen ho na womode anu yie eba ma yehwe na anu yie omode ba ne se eye economic forum and omo pese omo ye nti who say Monday Wednesday mistake categorically. I mean, I was blunt, incontrovertible that we don't need economic forum. Absolutely. But when I heard say a nipa gu events and conference center house and say, hey, and I was like, hey, what's going on? And I was listening. I listened to some few persons. Then I say, hey, just say the stupendous nature of how they are giving all of us the hope. Say, yeah, Charlie, it's gonna work, and all of them say, hey, and they, and I'm over kind economic forum as much here. Now here, at the end of the forum, the platform produced the following 6 bullet factors. Ebra one mu wie no Tuesday no one mu produce enyoma mako mienu miensa enai enum ensia sa enyoma ensia na wo mu de ba na enya nsowano o ekua wo hwe me kumase wo hwe me pa ekua me tia opa why yes enem ne ade o ekua asem no ene ade saa o sikadie saa nem ne ade he wo mumemu munkasa nkire mu mpenimfo no so no enyoma nsie ya eba ye eno enye nsowano o Ghana fontie miye na se won temase a ena sometimes ya na munkeka mu nsendi saa bibi so nkasa nkyem se yesi mu ache o na mode saa bosum wei ena mo se mode ayeden Ghana month nti edru saa bosum wei a ena Ghana fo na ye nyoma se ye nyoma na te se ye Ghana fo tie nie edru the month of March and all of us want to behave like we are the proper Ghanaians. Alright, month we twemu a there be ye abrofo ye na ye abrofo enura a member of parliament be come brofo or parliament fence the floor of the house Ghana fo ashasi asre mami asre aden why MP gramre findi ye fence just say masre MP sa adentia mo kai MP ni din because men kai ni din MP ka brofo or parliament house or brofo no kan no so see ni ti ase so see say e den esre be na wom e ya okasa brofo kasa na ya okasa bibisa brofo kasa no Ghana ni bia nkyere me from the north south east west from Epieye Atoye and Anafo and Neo whatever you may call it me pese bibisa all the tribes in this country no be be ka nkyere me say English language Ghana ha tribe bi mo mother tongue mo make come intie enti bunu na ofiri na obae na brofo na ene kasa and I'm quite sure say parliament one part of the legislative arrangement say ubetimi akatwi ubetimi aka kasa bia and they have to ensure say they will give you proper interpretation which will go into the Hansard so aden boni be na wom why we aden kwa na ye nipa boni sem say why Inti wentimi anka brof inti mo nye na adwuma e wo parliament wo na nipa si na twetwe say oh na assembly nso esi on the flip side of we and dey enka ho but esi na I was gauging the spirit and the mood of people na me say oh you don't know Ghana for Ghana yenye nipa papa sa o yes, of course, on one flip side of it about the idiosyncrasy of Ghanaians is that yes, Ghanaians believe in what you call hospitality. Yeah, yes, some nyoma, but ni nara just a fanfare keke. But inside out of the Ghanaian, the deep-seated Ghanaian, and our way of the spirit that controls and molds us into becoming who we are. And your spirit, Papa. No. say spirit papa ye honhom papa che mu nkotena enwumenwum ho ye de wokọ minister director chief executive den na makoye ho nyina sesesra ade chia na mahyehyɛ ntare abobo suit nim ne ntare white nim ne ade na yaw ofori ataka ho na makotena nsori mukọ Action Chapel ha mukọ me bobo nsori ni di atra mo nsori no na makotena ehwan aye papa Duncan Williams sorry na makotena Kwanchi Ankra na sorry na makotena himfa what's the other guy's name Ajenasari na makotena Darky Ward Mills na makotena Otabil all of them mu wia na birim so makotena wusu bempa sorry na mo se mu ye Ghanaians we are righteous, self-righteous people. Yeah. Yet, we are more than evil. Evil word is understatement. All of us. Very satanic people. Satanic inclined. Our spirit, our consciousness is seared. And we are demonic inclined. All of us. The sense of nationalism has departed the soul of this country. Sense of nationalism. Now listen. And run a moody mu independent me person me custom to ye na etrim. The sense of nationalism is gone. Yeah. Ye trim ye nipa boni dito. Che say the Ghana ni gia na ni agia ne say ni nia ho akwadwe mu. That's all about it. And one no. Say ni nia but on ne so sre kama but asama benti. Say na hwe. There's something that is going on. This one is on the it's on the media space. I've criticized this man before. He's my senior brother. He's a senior also in the industry. Yeah. And I say chairman Sifakan. Sebi say ye yidio say ye denyo so no rezanio so no ye denyo. Nti na college journalists for and within certain political circles na aye fanfare aye sidie de omano aye edie ya cheche bo ene e feudie ene yedi enti Kwame Sefakan no ye yi ni free ho na wenye adwuma nye na sabi wentini anhwe ne yire ne ma no ene eweni je eno aweni age. That's all about it. Enti eno na de na obenya om den pa na office obenya but who say ye kaka sebisi ye se onyanko da no da but enye adwuma in the very nature of the Ghanaian today. No, we are very evil. Why? If Kwame Sefakan ye MPP ni a so be it aden so nkumu nipa say NDC for entimi ni Kwame Sefakan enya no baba ye na ntawanta obi aba nti ewiase Ghana nhia na. As long as any a crime, but because I did be a course so as far as Kwame Sefakan is concerned, a lot of journalists need to be him. And then NBC for by how many journalists for and board membership NDC by me say journalists from GG post it is a Kwame Sefakan, you know. I mean there are lots of them. You've seen all of them. So it's me makase kweku me sad way minim adekwa be mama yesa but the point is that because but you see let's all learn to respect the rudiments of the job. And just here honhom na tie mu no e yo say ye honhom ye nwu nanim ase just like that. So yes I know when you're there. Kwame may be at the kokruko. The obey any pain na be omofe. But of course, he's a Ghanaian, he's a human being. Or you need to as who did know on any ma. That's all about life. We are see it. Baby and imbiomo. And the antina opese wunia dear, Sabio. De bia mo de boni, mo de sum, and some keka, and conconsa, and somewhere enim, and it just a mube say ni papa. What do you get out of dinner munya free mo? A Bible power say ya, hey, ne nipa bi de I so musi, wo mu kwhye baabi a, wo mu be say yo bia say yes just because wo mu benye enum nyam no menye baabi a. So my issue is say me question say ahina wankasa no ye de wo kwhye a ubedi sen. And as a man you ko ne free power. chense Kwame Sefakan I've criticized Kwame. My criticism for Kwame Sefakan does not mean I hate Kwame. Why? Kwame Dean, Kwame, any Miami Paul Adomoche, all of them, they are, including other journalists, their names featured prominently in the Japa deal. Of course, my criticisms and telling the story that way does not mean I hate. But we are by his way. The social media and also they. Why? NDC mpeni for hwemunhwe ne maybe right from now. Na post na mo chicha no so me se munya hwe yie. Post na mo chicha no a mo chicha post ni bi kra de bi mas me wo ho. Na minim se me boss obenya post. Wo ho. Na minim se me boss Kwesi Cheda kwa na mi se Kwesi so Kwesi minim se Kwesi so wenya no nka nkire me dia but I think se Kwesi ye man no hwe not even bored Kwesi Cheda kwa chale mo ya we se Kwesi ya man board bi ana bisa Kwesi Cheda kwa maintain here but behind Kwesi Cheda kwa's head Tio at the head of Kwesi Cheda kwa's head no ya mo bi pause some diaspora pause be enemy ade meanwhile Kwesi cut across all sad events and territorial grounds nina anybody bi ma mama mu pause a me Kweku amtei mante wo ma no da se nipa ni bi mpo abegina bonten a mate so wo ye se prrr joma mante se wakasa redem no mpo bako da se prrr no Mantibi. A rebi wa NDC mu very pretty lady bi. Kama tu. We try to be sa. Na me share every NDC activity. Me nim ni din. Very young lady. Tum. We try to kama. Ma share se meti ni din se obe feature o baby se yaman pose. No. And now my men our parliament. Your friends say Millicent what? Millicent whatever. Yabwa. Na mo sere no. Ade India. Say NDC for them, person mo de call parliament, ma Ghana for yehu, and mo de call so. Now the moment on can't make us sense where na some fana some kwe. I don't know more say no. Atwitwi sie. Any a failed die. Ni na mo Bible na kan. Or say one mo a den e si atwitwi e failed for and sabrofo ni asasafro. Also, they will not inherit in the kingdom of heaven. Ye na sa na tie. Ezu se mon sorry doors so chain factories. Mon sorry doors so chain job employment. Mon sorry doors so chain economic recovery. I'm brought down for silly people. You are more interested in what? Allowing churches to flood all over the capital. The churches flooding all over regional capitals. Not factories. And your factories. A down for more yare 68 years. Go and heal yourself. The last time it's here, John Mahama. Monday, sa so for no minyama, so maybe Monday. Sa so for no, Muma John Mahama, Mr. President Mahame, me patrol. You don't have time. Sa time no so for no, Eddie Baba transfer honam. Woman be waste time no. Sebeya, Mr. Mahame, President, Your Excellency, cut it off. Me say go to the global south. Go there and see. Development in a question, and yes, so be there. I saw for Shisha damn waste of time. I saw for no so feels that this is their time. 4 years, one person to the milk president and brutal, and here the time wasting. No. Hey, then, Mashisha mon come near. I saw for Muntie, no Monday, no Mebamoso. Mashisha mon come near. Allow President Mahama to breathe. Allow President Mahama to work. Archbishop Duncan Williams, all of you, Mama John Mahama crying, no Yena Juma. Please, with the greatest of respect, all of you, Archbishop, Wona Udimukai, Muma John Mahama, Kwaimon Yenejuma. We need more options, more than dramatics. We need more options than dramatics. John Mahama ain't got time to waste, all right? No, man, there ain't time for him to waste it. Because anytime soon, he's going to walk out of the door. And Ghanaians, same Ghanaians, will come and blame himself. Wanyashe, ne binuma chinashe dem. And I pay we are not do. I saw for no so ne hono me say me ba ho mande. I saw for me John Mahama ko bompa he bebre ye Satan for omo ye sasabonsam for me wudi agura mande me bobo mu ni edi. One moment, John Mahama question them war. May say some of them even prophesy said John Mahama will not even win. Yet, woman nane share them war. A bonia for bonia show mama. Certain for woman answer on kikawa. Yes. Muni my dear. Sa economic forum. Radio. And your mommy and in the PA. But this economic forum, next week, ye baswaba bayade. Share, and your ma, one more kind of forum nasiano. A one. Or say achieving sustainable TNO. Tia brofuno matro hanum. One, achieving sustainable macro, not micro, macroeconomic stability. And where they are. What is here? Achieving sustainable macroeconomic stability. Then the question remains, is this that Ghana we've not heard before? When you enter that, and we are one. Two, is this that Ghana have not implemented before? What you call achieving the sustainable macroeconomic. And then one don't achieve. Who should go and achieve what? Is it Ghana to go and achieve this? Or this is the blueprint derived from the forum? Wait a minute. Number two, promoting economic transformation. And you'll be promoting the same. Now, the question I'm asking the professors over there, including Dr. Ishmael Yamson. Is it Yamson or Yangson? And he said, number two, promoting economic transformation. Economic transformation, you be promoting the same. You be promoting the same. Now, this is 68 years. What is it that Ghana we have in order to promote? In order to promote, and by way of promoting whatever that deal Ghana, whatever that Ghana has, it will metamorphose into that of Ghana showcasing her presence in the global competitive capitalist economy. Is it not? And are we? No, 68 years and then I move promote you. As far as GIPC are concerned, mon amode in your mako abontain a cocoa pro, then I move showcase you. Mibisa, a dear any year showcase ever honor, and today soon year promote. What is it that is of Ghanaian? What is it that is of Ghanaian in nature? What is it that is of Ghanaian in character that you are promoting? Rubbish and foolishness. And I have to tell you people in plain words, 68 years is enough. It's enough to have walked down the aisle in wastes of time and describing a failed state. Aren't you people ashamed? What are you promoting? Economic what? Transformation. When the global south is with the speed of beam light, moving, check. Or see America, or the America for only 2 minutes, and he doesn't have time for anybody. No, he thinks that, listen, man, America, there's been too many dramatics, much more than options. And he says, no, man, listen, we need more options than dramatics. You guys are sitting here, Dr. Professor Emeritus, whatnot, you continue to do this drama and continue to do drama. Number 3, advancing infrastructure development. Infrastructure. Which of the infrastructures? Aren't we suffering from infrastructure deficit? Aren't we? The whole Ghana. Are we not suffering from infrastructure deficit? And the question remains, 32 years into this 1992 constitution. It's been saying 32 years into your democratization. The question remains, are you therefore now ready to tell us, no, we are what? We need to advance in infrastructure development. What are these politicians go and come? 32 years, what are they doing? What have they done with the consolidated fund? Am I the one to come and tell them that, hey, you need to do A, B, C, D? That's why on Monday and Wednesday, I told Ghanaians, say, yes, they will continue to fail. They will fail because if you write this year, advancing infrastructure development, on the back or on the heels of what? Your political party manifesto, that will be through him. Because manifesto now is structured in a way, said, if Rihanna Kohana is saying, but when you structure the nation's blueprint, when all of you sit and the economic forum na mukoye no, all of you na munsu cry te say akwebi no wo TikTok na de no osu no osu sa na esem na musu wo dem ho na musu musu wia na fi obi ad ne pen ne paper na musi ho na mu drive it. Policy program. We need a national policy driven. In what I learned in security and intelligence, there's something that we say is if you go to a country and you want to study, say this country is well pivot in security and intelligence, go and read their security and intelligence policy driven and see, say, hey, you will not make any attempts no, Chale Krono, untimi rough. Yeah. Ghana, do you have some? Do you even have for instance, security and intelligence policy driven? Who wrote it? Daben on Metro. So, asemi amo kan wa he. The amo kan wa he. Advancing infrastructure development. But there is what you call a deficit in infrastructure. And that deficit was not created by me. The nation has been given to people to manage. The nation is in the custody of a group of political parties who says, we can do A, B, C, D, and say, okay, go and manage it. And you going, we didn't leave you alone. No, we gave you our mandate. We gave you the power. We gave you the money. Go and manage. And then you go and sit there. And then you begin to throw your hands in despair to catch a glimpse. A glimpse of who? This same IMF. The IMF who have nothing good for you except to help you destroy your nation's political, economic, social fiber. That's what you are interested in. Are you serious? Politicians are mugu memu. Muye serious. NDC name muye serious. Make a tremo Monday ni Wednesday. Why? When Kwame Nkrumah, munya sa video ready. In the days of the Kwame Nkrumah that I wasn't there, at least Ghana was what? We were manufacturing tobacco. We were manufacturing the nails and prego. We were manufacturing the furniture and konya. And you may be and then swear mugusu ye. The question remains: those of you, the professors, amukotna in events and conference center, question is why is Ghana not manufacturing these things any longer? What has happened? Are you therefore suggesting to me or telling me that those factories are outmoded or are being destroyed and we cannot revamp it? What has happened to the Kumasi shoe factory? 32 years. Have you tried to revamp that company? We had a factory in Ghana, not factory no, or dear tomatoes, factory near dear tomatoes. Pualugu, I know Pualugu very well because I stayed in the north. Pualugu tomatoes, what is happening to it? Apart from Pualugu tomatoes, there are other places where to me, I produce tomato paste. You are transporting. Why can't you do it? 8 solid years, 32 years, but at least now we can say between NDC and MPP, all of you, there's a cost sharing. So, Munyama spending 16 years. What have you done? Bunch of useless people. I'm looking at your faces, especially those of you government officials sitting in your homes watching. We're a bunch of waste. Bow your head in despicable shame. And some of you should be shot by side without trial because you are the enemies of the state. I'm telling you people, we're enemies of the state. Kwame Nkrumah time. On my way, Mr. produce BBR. There was something that was called work and happiness. What does that mean? And next Friday, work and happiness, the Ecos tema, steel factories, the Ecos. Even what the Kwame Nkrumah to in Kenya, a military junta, Lieutenant General Why Kutu Echampon, Makana Samakake, Echampon time near Eden. And in Bibriwa, Yang Yeden, Yang Kra Ambo Memwa. And the reason establishing why Echampon did that was simply to what? To avoid what you call the dependency syndrome. Yeah. In the time where Ghana, Zamoba Kaya, in 1976, hot thereof. Oh, or shady na Ghana your debts, no? Because you know what? Our debt was almost like 3.6 billion. Domestic debt was like 2 billion. Inflation had risen to about 117 or has dropped to 68. Go and check the statistics. Yeah. Okay. Food prices at the time had gone up to what? About 59% thereof. Population was about 2.8% significant. Look, Kutu Acheampong did his best in order to shuffle all of this IMF conditionality, because at that time, my intellectual now, Oni Akufo-Addo ne papa, when Professor Buzia, Womode Progress Party ne ba no, Womode Bebuya, no, we reduce Ghana cedi no to 41% before the IMF. Owie no. No, or main pasa. Kutu Acheampong by Osesan, in order to ensure say the city would appreciate the dollar, and no steps would take. He told the Bretton Woods institution, I'm not going to pay the debt against our debt portfolio. So he went straight to repudiate $94.4 million. And subsequent to this, Bretton Woods institution, IMF was no, we'll cancel your trade credits. And trade credits, like I said, I've been saying all the time, affected consumables, maybe to say corned beef, sardine, milk, sugar, and in your maybe bread. What you say? Kutu Acheampong didn't give up. And Kutu Acheampong, on your professor, on your doctor, on your emeritus, go and check Kutu Acheampong in the background, or you're just son 7. He was a stenographer. Okay? Kutu Acheampong went further and said, listen, I will do three things. Three things. In all of this Kutu Acheampong was doing, he was doing the robust economic shuffle in order to bring the cedi closer to the dollar. So he subsidized these consumables. He prioritized these consumables. He rationed these consumables. And that was the end. He cancelled the importation of cottonwood. Ghana was importing cottonwood before Kutu Acheampong came. Also, no, he cut the importation of cottonwood, and Ghana saved $30 million. Go and check the records. A bodam for a crown for the money sikadia. Moba, the minister, agricultural minister. I don't know. Why don't you cut the importation of rice? I dare all of you, go and cut the importation of rice. Go and cut the importation of poultry. Go and cut the importation of what? Vegetables. And then, foolishly as we are, we have also allowed a group of what? A group of charlatans called the Monsanto Group from the North America. And what have they done? They have come to corrupt our what? Our enviable food staples. And then you cannot harvest cabbage. Now the cabbage not to for like 3 days. Say, why? Because the Monsanto Group went to Ghana's parliament. And corrupted our members of parliament to pass what you call the Plant Breeders Bill. And the Plant Breeders Bill will give them access to contaminate our food staples. Absolutely balderdash. Bunch of useless people. You sick people. You don't think about the people of the nation. No. So now check the records. The death toll in this country has gone down dramatically. Yeah, why not? And there's what? Avalanche of what? Disease, crime, and many things. It's so common that today cancer disease is on ascendancy. Kidney disease is on ascendancy. All the ailments that gone in the past, you not even hear. You not even go to the health sector and you count about 3-4. Say, yes, we will cancer. We will say no. And on top of this, when you've allowed the Monsanto to come and do all this to you, again, you also open your airspace, and these same politicians will go and bring your Chinese people to come and go to your forest reserves and fall all your trees. The trees that will give you some form of habitations and air, and then I say for your water bodies and your what? Your forest reserves. You're training egum. And you are sitting there thinking, say, there's another Ghana be yet to be born. Sick people. Absolutely sick. You are driving our Land Cruisers. Like Nana Kwablanketia said. Also, when you wake up in the morning, check the street. You see some very stupid people. He said also, they are driving all these Land Cruisers. Noise. Going as if they are thinking about you. No. Now, so at the end of the day, this same mushroom politicians, good for nothing. The minimum said they believe in razzmatazz and bourgeoisism. I went to school in Harvard. I have 3-4 certificates. Siafoni Jimmy. I have 3 certificates. Look at these people. When you have 3 certificates in degrees, 3 degrees in a year, then. Onya sa 4 degrees in a year day. I listened to the vet and I watched and I said, look at these little chickens. They know nothing. Go and put them there. We need more options. So the practical development of this nation isn't in the talking, isn't in the noise making. It's about visibility. We need to know what we have to know. And 32 years, you think it's not enough? 32 years on one side and then 68 years on one hand. Yeah. Another thing is whereby number 4, implementing structural reforms. What does that mean? Says a brofuno no adjectives, nouns and adjectives. Implementing structural reforms. What is the structural reforms? What is that? And it's saying. Then number 5, ensuring private sector led growth. Private sector led growth. When you are in this country, private sector growth. Mebwa. God. Between you, these two parties, all that you are doing is that when you come, then you are shutting companies. The private sector is the engine of growth. It's the epicenter of the local economy, is it not? Yeah. But your interest and you take fun in destroying them. Like Nana Yao Ken Ofori-Atta dead in his era. Nani Refi. He collapsed about how many? 11 banks with capital involved, destroy all of them, and he wasn't bothered. Kutu Echampo, when Kutu came, one thing for Kutu to believe said no, the private sector is the engine of growth, and therefore there's a need to revamp the private sector. Do you know what he did? There were companies like what? The BA Mensa, the Boache Mattress, the Siao Brewery, the Kwawu Motors. All these companies, about 4 of them, Nina a Ghanaian owned. And Kutu Echampo encourage all of them to lift up and then speed up the local economy. This is what he did. On top of it, he gave women who were ready to go into private business loans to do business. And women who succeeded in their business were able to afford to buy the VW Volkswagen. That later, a political mass slanging propaganda from the likes of the Kweku Bakuns were for Tobeji Golf. Or no Kweku Bakun, or say Yankwa is one person, Ghanaian politics. But say Nipa Bebri, he doesn't care. Yeah, this is what Kutu Echampo did. So, under the Fourth Republicans, where you are just destroying the private sector. Nemfamo, most say private sector. Nekeke, when DC for ba hey, MPP for ba hey. Then the last one, almost saying, restoring good governance and combating corruption. I think I have to keep quiet. Restoring good governance and combating what? Corruption. So, mo say, okay, mo we are na mate, mo amoba na mate institutions, say institution we. Ye be mo why responsible for this. Enti obi ti say Kisi Ejapin otini be bi dwen no. Na MPP for say o ye te anti-corruption dien. Ne ate. Ye man e kwan mo ne nye na dwuma da. Ye be frustrate nipa ne sa to say yeah, Martin Alamisi Amidu on ordinary de tifa kwa yimu. Oh, na Kisi aba. Afi Kisi susu de kwa udi share. Afi de bibi edru no. Adena edne. You bet me ayan so beto ankwa de bi no kwa ni baby. Kisi ebe ye ja o medwuma to o mom na ko. NDC for nso aba. Ye hu baby e di Kisi fa wo. The last time I heard NDC chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia, our moka be said from the look of things and it say as when the answer you be crashing. But when Chairman Asiedu Nketia cancer, the question started, pounding on my mind, and they said, "Dear who came, Papa? We are sure, say, in the more South politicians here, more located here in the epicenter of the world, the Ghana, more anti-corruption agencies, given the circumstances of your narrative, say, young Kwani de Wuking, folks. Sa economic forum ade we ho. Monday ye be basu biem. Proper one. We de makenkan nyoma nsia. Enyoma nsia na mekenkan na none of them that we heard say yeni na enko we finally say listen, Mr. President, we need what you call a national blueprint given national in character. Therefore, we need a big conference. Let's call our brothers and sisters. MPP, come forward. The MPP believes in the competitive capitalist economy. We believe in the socialist ideology. Amanesa, woman de sakrate ya koma John Mahama and one no. Woman de akoma John Mahama. Into be who say NDC for be wie no. Baby, you see the big push. Baby, you see nkukon kitin and nkukon kra enum ne ade ne wey. Ade be chi no. Ni na hwete say sam. Na ade achi na ade asan. Sa we are seeing Obiasu Dimrike America tour technology is running fast. Check what is happening in the global south. And America tour and Emu AM South. All nations around the world. But guess what? Africa is losing the sight of its head. These nations, they've utilized all their resources. So now Africa is beginning to mark the timelines. And the Russians, the Americans, the Chinese, all of them, Wamakobo Dompim, for Djibouti, Unim Djibouti, go and read the history of Djibouti and go and find out why all these global superpowers are all stationed in Djibouti. The US government is stationed in the military base at Djibouti. The Russians have also, are there in Djibouti. Chinese, and so at Djibouti. Because and your mass get said, or now betty music, I mean for here. Now yanko we economic forum Monday eko yebebaso. Any asofo na person mama John Mahama kwan ma no so why ne duade bia mabo nsem abo asofo mugu. Some kind dem catch asofo mugu Ghana 90% they are a bunch of criminals and thieves. No doubt. Asofo me say 90% of men of God in this country from especially with the charismatic movement. They are a bunch of thieves and criminals. And they know. And you empire be na moku buegu John Mahama and so. And come na mo share me be mo man you careful I will expose you. Most style of commercial mo share wa. I'm telling you. And come ni bi ma mo some of us so for no be mo share John Mahama. And yan commercial. And yan commercial. We know you ni be asan in commercial ni free buy. And yan commercial. What the Monday I'll give 2 names out. Na ma chere kwan fast for mo commercial e pia bonten. Yeah, let's try to commission PA. You are always eavesdropping in the Now, the politics of today. Politics of today takes us to the leading opposition New Patriotic Party, NPP, continue to count their losses in the just ended election 2024. NPP Fuguso Kasa. Assemble no more can ye and Kugo na no ya. Said omuche means catch from asotrona miensa energy ni han abrom. Now tonight we begin with the former information minister Vincent Opon Nkrumah. Vincent Opon Nkrumah, a member Vincent Canadian Vincent Okodo Opon Nkrumah, a member of parliament for Ofuasi Airebi constituency, in an interview with Evans Mensah also gave an angle to what led to their loss.
Corruption. Say. Obasa to Obama obio.
Oh, dear John Boydrika. Now, Sir John Kasa Semuya, afi maybe Sir John, Miniano, enono. Na maybe Sir, Etimuan Kasa, Motewa, Mode Sadi way. Ye Juma, Ewa Mamanya community, Mabu bottom Nimyansa say, I dear way. At your Halbeba main so at your Halbeba party so first before it would Obika also transmogrify and send us yet a metamorphose itself negatively on the what? On the nation. Into a banner saying and a mubu on my sir, more random party sir, Sikankwa, a be SWAT TV. Can you know almost starting on the low scale? On the low scale, then Kobe, Momone. In second kotokro nsra da no ne ade na gugu kam no de ko ebei oh bibini timu onza sana make cash as any o wo mo sha say na mo ye o NDC for come NDC were buying the help pan e sa de mo friends say sa pan white na mo kwalaba ko na ezi obere NDC for so mo so etunton bi yes NDC for all of them bow your head in shame and him guase for 32 years and I think that this country we simply just have to take it from the hands of these two groups. I'm serious. And the movement to get this done should be done quickly. We have to cause a force majeure because you are disturbing the consciousness of this nation for far too long. Why? Giving these goodies such as what? Kobe Momoni, enemy 50 cities are bought down for sick people. We are silly politicians. And I'm because you think you can fool all the people all the time. But not all the people all of the time. What's it? Mudi tuha mudi sankwa same way hewo meni mu wi ana ma bajiji post no na ma contractor mu isle gono mu airport one na sefo ye bisa wa mu so mu ana mu toto mu dan na mu na mu ye se ni asefo. Meanwhile, you guys are feeding full fat like what? Like the whatever on the Ghanaians.